Hello, hello, hello. Happy National Empanada Day. Today is National Empanada Day. We celebrate that every April 8th. And as you guys come on in, please share, 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 tag a friend. Let everyone know that Jersey Free Public Library is doing a cooking segment with Mr. William. So, guys, we're going to be making some empanadas today. After this short brief history, you're going to see a video of my empanada recipe. I did my dough store bought. I didn't make it from scratch, but you can make it from scratch if you want. Also, I did four different type of fillings. I did a ground beef filling, a chicken filling, a sharp cheddar cheese, yellow cheese filling, and I did a dessert type filling with guava paste and white cheese. Also, if you don't want to use the white cheese, you can use cream cheese because it melts quicker and it tastes the same. So remember, if you're a part of any Facebook groups, just share it on to them. Let everyone know we're doing a cooking segment. So let's talk about the brief history of empanadas. Happy National Empanada Day. And it's celebrated every April 8th, and today is 2021. And here's a brief history. Even if you never tried empanadas, there's a good chance you had one of their distant and delicious cousins. Originating from Galicia, Spain, empanadas now exist in over 30 countries in some shape or form. The name comes from the empanar, which means to bread, in Spanish and Portuguese. But some historians argue that the true meaning is, can I have another? That might not be a historical fact, but we can keep the spirit alive when National Empanada Day comes rolling in on April 8th. So now here's a timeline of National Empanada Day timeline. 100 BC. Now that's far back. First evidence. The first evidence of an empanada dates back to ancient Persia. Wow, I never knew that. Now we're going over to 711 AD. Empanadas make an appearance. During the time of the Moorish invasions, empanadas start to appear in medieval Iberia. 1520. Recipe for empanadas. The first recipe for empanadas is published in a Spanish cookbook in Catalan. In Catalan. 16th century. Making waves. The Spanish present their recipes for the empanadas to the Aztecs and Mayans. So there's your timeline of National Empanada Day. And that's a good little brief history because I never knew that the empanadas started during these periods of times. It was always good to find out facts of food. And I love to eat. So here we go. National Empanada Day activities. These are things that you could do to celebrate National Empanada Day. Go out to eat. Sometimes it's best to leave things to the professionals. This is especially true if your area has a thriving Latin American or Caribbean community. But even if it doesn't, there's no reason to fear. Just stumble into a place that offers fried pie. Yes, it counts. Well, I never had fried pie, but they say it counts. Make your own at home, just like Mr. Williams did. I made my own and they tasted delicious. The biggest problem you'll run into here is finding a recipe. There are so many good ones. This isn't to say that you cannot experiment and add your own fillings. However, you probably want the support of a buddy or two. Aside from helping with prep and cleanup, the extra mouse will ensure that you leave the table on your own 2 feet. Getting rolled away like empanada dough probably isn't the look you're aiming for. Share your pictures on social media. And guys, if you make your own empanadas at home, you can hashtag them at hashtag JCLibraryLove, or you can email them to me at wdelgado@jclibrary.org, or you can post them in the comment section in the comment section in the video. Yes, sharing food pictures on social media has been done to death, but it's a special day, so why not make an exception? Whether it works, whether it's a work of art or just a piece of work. You just put a smile on someone's face. Also, if you and your friends try making empanadas from different countries, it could be interesting to compare the results. Just remember that it's all in good fun, and that there are no winners or losers, except for the people who forget about the glorious day. So that you can add any different fillings to your empanadas. Like I said in my video when I started making the empanadas, some countries add boiled eggs, raisins, potatoes. You can add vegetables, corn. If you are a vegetarian, you can make vegetarian empanadas, and I think they will taste delicious. So make your own at home. Invent, have fun. Make some new ones that nobody's tasted. You want to know what my invention was? I want to make a s'more empanada. I think that would taste so delicious. Marshmallows with chocolate in that pastry dough. OMG, I think that would be so delicious. And then they want to try it. I should have tried it for my video, but I didn't want to invent, and then it came out a flop. But like it says, there are no winners or losers. Why we love National Empanada Day. Empanadas are the perfect finger food. And they are. You can make them big like I did, or you can make them small and cut them in half, the dough. However you want to make your empanadas, go ahead, invent. They come wrapped in an edible flaking container, which means you don't need pesky utensils. Doesn't matter if you're at a restaurant or a food truck, every bit of goodness will safely reach its destination. Psst, that's your mouth. Best of all, they are a breeze to share with your friends, but no one's saying you have to do that. They make a mean dessert. Most people are aware of the meat and cheese variety, but you can stuff empanadas with pretty much anything. This could be sweet potatoes, peaches, or even guava paste, like I did. Of course, in these cases, they tend to resemble more of a puff pastry. In Bolivia, they like to have the best of both worlds. There you can find saltenas that are filled with a sweet and spicy soup. If that doesn't sound like your cup of tea, well, take them off your hands and strictly for research purposes. The endless variety. There's so many different kinds that you can make. Remember, more than 30 countries have their own versions of empanadas, so you're bound to find one that fits your taste. If you can't live without peanuts, you might want to check out Colombia. Parts of the country add peanuts to top things off with an ají sauce. Mm-mm-mm. Or maybe you can decide between noodles and bread. In that case, Indonesia has you covered, as their local variety comes chock full of potatoes, carrots, chicken, and glass noodles. So I hope you guys enjoyed that brief history of National Empanadas Day. And next, we're going to be watching a quick video, or not a quick video, a recipe of my own of 4 different fillings that I make for you in this recipe. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. And don't forget to share, tag a friend. Hey guys, happy National Empanadas Day. So today we're going to be making some quick empanada fillings to go into our empanadas. I didn't make my empanada turnovers or this from scratch. So what I actually did was I went to the supermarket or to my local store and I found these. These are Goya dough for turnover pastries. So you could use these for anything. You could use these. You could put meat in these. You could put cheese, shrimp, whatever you want. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna use these. So these bring 10 discs in each pack. They're only for 2,050 cents. You can find them for different prices at different places. I like to get the big ones because the big ones you could fill them up with so much filling, so much delicious meat or cheese or whatever you want to put in it. So we're gonna use these discs. Remember, they come frozen. So what you have to do is you have to leave them in the refrigerator and let them thaw out for a little bit. These are almost thawed out. I could feel them, but they still need them a little more time. So for our fillings, we're gonna be using 2 different types of meat. We're gonna be using ground beef. So I bought a pack at ShopRite. It was cheap. It was only $8.98. You don't have to buy this big pack of meat. You can make if you have a smaller, if it's just for 1 person or 2 people, you could buy a smaller pack. But I'm going to make a couple of these so I can share with my friends and roommates. And they could taste them and let me know how they taste. So we're going to use ground beef. That's one meat. I also brought a pack of chicken breasts, also in ShopRite. And there were 4 chicken breasts. I actually seasoned it beforehand, so just so I can get the seasoning, and I don't like to touch the camera with my dirty seasoning hands. So I actually put some olive oil, garlic, chopped garlic, parsley, white pepper, adobo, and sazon. I actually also put minced onion, parsley, oregano, and white pepper. I add a little bit of olive oil, mixed it all up, and this has been seasoning for like about an hour or 2. And what we're going to do with this meat is we're going to actually boil this meat so we can shred it up later. I actually have a pot of boiling hot water ready for the meat so it can start cooking quicker. And then I'm going to show you how to cook the other meat. But let me show you our other ingredients real quick. This is sofrito. This is something that Hispanics do. And well, this is like garlic, onions, peppers, cilantro, recao, different vegetables mixed in, and they pulsate it, grind it, blends it, and I wish you could smell it. It smells so delicious. And you can add this to your rice, your meats, your beans, and it just gives it an awesome flavor. So this is called sofrito. We're gonna add some sofrito to that. I also have some chopped up onions that I chopped up. I actually have two of these because I'm going to use one for the ground beef and one for the chicken. Some chopped up garlic so I could throw up in there. And this is about maybe 5 cloves of garlic. Some chopped up parsley for taste and seasoning. And cheddar melt cheese. I brought this to make one with white frying cheese. This is Spanish white frying cheese. Queso para this cheese into the pastry with some guava paste. And this is going to be like a sweet treat. So this cheese with the guava paste is going to go together. We're going to add these two together and we're going to make like a sweet pastry empanada. So we're going to start cooking the chicken. So I got a pot of water boiling already. And to that pot, I'm going to add, 1 second, 2 chicken boiling cubes. So, sorry. So this is what I'm gonna add some chicken. It's chicken cubes, and it makes it like a chicken broth. If you want to just boil your chicken in chicken broth, you more. Now, if you have bay leaves or any other stuff you would like to add to the water, you're more than welcome to add it. I don't have no bay leaves, so I'm not gonna add that. But now we're gonna add our chicken. Hey Siri, set timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. So I asked Siri to set my timer for 15 minutes, and now we're going to start cooking our ground beef. So what I like to do is I like to just throw the ground beef into the hot pot, let it simmer, let it cook for a little bit, and then I like to season it up later. That's how I like to do my meat. Everybody does everything different, so however you like to do your meat, you can do it your way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our meat. This chicken has been cooking for like about a good 5 minutes. I can see the meat already whitening. Still has more. Once you see the chicken falling into pieces, that's when you know it's cooked. But I set a timer for 15 minutes. And this smells so delicious. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision so you could smell the deliciousness in this. That broth tastes so delicious. So here we got our chicken boiling. We're gonna put the cover back on so it can cook a bit more quicker. And now we're gonna check back on our ground beef and see how that's looking covered. And it's just cooking in those liquid. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that noise. So now what you want to do is you just want to start mixing this meat. And this meat, you could do about, I would say, half of the meat would do maybe like 10 empanadas. But this, you could, with this whole pie, you could do it, I think, up to 20 empanadas. Oops. So I'm just going to cover this back up and we'll check on it in a few minutes and see how everything looks. So my timer went off. 15 minutes have passed and look at this cooking liquid. Look at the chicken. It's falling into pieces. As you can see, look at this one. It has broken already. Once you see that chicken breaking, you're ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chicken out, put it in a bowl, and start straightening the chicken up real quick. Then I'm going to save this liquid, and I'm going to show you why I'm going to save this liquid for later, okay? So our ground beef is simmering here. It's actually cooked with the liquids. So now it's time for the best part. Let's season this meat up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some garlic. Save some for later. I'm gonna add some chopped onions. A little bit of cilantro. Two spoons of sofrito. We're gonna add some adobo. And a pack of sesame. You might have to add 2 packs, but we're gonna see how it looks with this one first, and then we'll add the next one if we need it. Now what you're gonna do is mix all those wonderful ingredients in. The meat is actually cooked. I just want to taste it to make sure that I need to give any time more seasonings or I'm missing it. Taste a little bit. It's actually good. I think I need a little more adobo. Maybe a tinge more of cilantro. And that's it. Now what you want to do is let this cook for maybe like 3 more minutes or so, or for 3 to 5 more minutes. Just so that onion and garlic cook down. I think I overdid it with the garlic, but when my taste tasters test this, they will let me know. I mean, like I said, I like to add a lot of loaded flavors into my food. So like I said, you guys could add whatever you want. You can add less, more. It's up to you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this cook. Cook down a little more. Just gonna throw a little more sofrito in there. Mix it up. Cover it up. Let it cook. And now we're gonna start shredding the chicken. And then I'll show you why we kept that liquid from the chicken. So when we come back, we'll start shredding the chicken up. So my hands are killing me from shredding all this meat. But there's the shredded meat. And remember I told you to keep some of the liquid. So this is what we're gonna do. Take my big spoon. And I'm going to spoon some of the liquid into here so the meat doesn't go. So I added about 3 big spoons. Taste it. Delicious. Alright, so we still got to cook some onions that we're going to actually put in here. And some onions, garlic, and a little bit of parsley and some sofrito just to mix it in here just so it can get some added flavors. And I'm going to season this meat up a little more because you know when you simmer chicken, sometimes boiling it takes the flavor out of it and it leaves it a little bit dry. So that's why I'm going to season it up a little more and then cook it together with the onions and stuff. So my pan is hot already. And now I'm going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Now this oil is not to heat up the empanadas. What we're going to do is we're going to just cook some onions and garlic real quick. Just so we can mix in with that chicken. So as you can see, I'm trying to coat the whole pan. There you go. And now you can add your garlic. So I'm adding my leftover garlic that I used to season. Gonna add some onion. Lower this because I don't want the alarm to ring. So you want to cook this down until the onions become a little translucent. Smell that garlic already. Like I said, you can add paprika, cumin, chili powder, pepper, whatever you want. I'm just going to add a little bit of sea salt, I think this is. So my roommate has, so this is what I got to use. Now what I'm going to add is some cilantro. And then what you want to do now is you just want to add your chicken. to this mixture, or you can add the chicken to the pan, or you can add the onions to the chicken. I'm going to add the chicken to the pan. Now to this, I just want to add some sofrito. That's what I'm adding, sofrito. Some white pepper, because I don't have black pepper. I do have black pepper, but I always forget that the mill's right there next to me. I never look at it. I'm going to add a little more of adobo. Because you don't want to eat unseasoned meat. I mean, the meat was seasoned, but remember, once you boil this, the meat starts losing its flavor and stuff. And last but not least, I want to add some of this liquid that I saved also from the chicken. Just so I can cook real quick with the liquid again. And I don't want the chicken to be so dry. And don't think that I forgot about the ground beef. I'm going to show you. I had turned it off before when I was shredding the chicken, just so it could start cooling down. Because remember, before you fill your empanadas, you want to have your fillings cool down. You don't want to add something hot that it could break the empanada disc. And then you're just going to have a whole bunch of broken empanada discs. So I'm actually going to taste this real quick. That is really delicious. This is the finished product of the ground beef. Remember, this was seasoned. So you see all that oil? Yes, we do have to drain this because we don't want that oil in our empanadas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain this, clean up real quick, and then guess what's next? We're going to start assembling our empanadas. I'm going to show you how to assemble the meat, the chicken, and the cheese empanadas, and then I'm going to fry them real quick and show you how they come out. So we're back. So here is our shredded chicken, nice and cooled down. Has still a little bit of liquid with the seasoning, the onions, ready for the chicken. With a lot of garlic. I'm sorry, I put too much garlic, my bad. But this is drained, all the oil and liquid is drained out of it, and this is the ground beef cooled down. Now remember, we were going to add some guava paste, cheddar cheese, and some white Spanish frying cheese. And what I did was I actually cut them up into pieces already. That's why you see the packages thing into. So we have the guava paste, we have the yellow cheese, and the white frying cheese. Remember, the white cheese is gonna go with the guava paste, and the yellow cheese is gonna go separate. So now we're ready to start assembling our empanada discs. So these are the empanada discs, like I showed you before. They are completely thawed out. I thought it was gonna take till tomorrow, and it didn't. I'm so happy. So when you take them out the packaging, on the back side it has a plastic and the front side doesn't. What you do is you just take the first piece of plastic and you peel it off just like this. That way, you keep the plastic under the empanada disc. See? And you want to save the plastic so you can put it away or store it in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling the empanada disc. So I'm going to start with the yellow cheese first. This is the simplest one. So I want it to be very, very cheesy. So I'm going to put 2 pieces of cheese. And all you need to do is you need to get a fork, just like this one. And some people use egg wash and to close it. Us Hispanic people, we do not use egg wash. We just use a fork to close it, and that's it. So we're just going to add the yellow cheese. So this is going to be a cheddar cheese empanada disc. So now when you fold it, you want to press down with your fingers. Like I said, if you want to use water or egg wash, you can do whatever. You can use whatever you want. I'm not going to use that. You take your fork and you start pressing down. Why we press down is we're closing the empanada and closing the filling inside. So that's the first side. We closed it. Now we're going to flip it over, keeping the plastic still there. And now we're going to do it to the next side. Now the cheese ones are the simplest one because all you gotta do is put the cheese in and that's it. And there you got it. Now if you look, you see this is open right here. I'm sorry. So as you look, it's halfway closed, but this side is still open. I'm sorry, this side is still open. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go back in, press it down a little more, and hopefully it will close. Flip it around, do it on this side also. Like I said, if you want to use and that's how it should look. If you want to use the egg wash, you're more than welcome. Now the next one we're going to do is the chicken. And you can do them however size you want. If you want to do it this way, you want to do it that way, whatever. So I'm going to grab the chicken. Make sure I get some of that liquid from the bottom too. And you're just going to spoon the filling there. Move this back over here. And now it's time to close the chicken one. And like I said, these are so simple to make. If you buy the disc already made, it's 1, 2, 3. Now if you make them by scratch, they'll be easier too to make also. I just didn't want to do all that work. And like I said, this is the way I was brought up. I'm Puerto Rican. This is how my mother, my grandmother makes their empanadas. Now, especially with the chicken and the ground beef, you definitely want to make sure that they're closed. Because then the oil seeps in and it's a mess. So there we got it. Both sides closed already. 1, 2, 3. And there's our chicken one. should have started, you know, bubbling. Oh, it is bubbling. So we're ready. And I'm gonna add the beef one. Now, like I said, what you want to do is you want to get a spoon and you want to start putting some of that hot oil on top of the empanada. Because remember, it's cooking on the bottom, but it's not cooking on the top until we flip it. Whew, I thought it stuck to the pan. I was about to start screaming like, no! So you see, I'm just putting some oil on top of it so it can start actually cooking that part. And you want to maybe cook each side for a few minutes each side. Once you see the one side is, you know, brown enough, you can start turning them over. And remember, guys, no kids should be doing this by themselves. Parents, you should be doing this with your children. But this is a meal for parents, and this is a meal for all ages. So as you see, as I'm basting it with the hot oil, it's actually cooking the top side. I think I put too much oil. Like always, Mr. Williams always messing up. Now you want to cook this on a medium heat because you don't want to burn the empanadas. You just want them like a little lightly golden crisp. So now I'm going to come over here and get a fork. So I could turn these over. And you see how this side is and it's very hard? That's how the empanada should be. Then you just want to keep on taking some of that oil and throwing it on top. Now, like I said, if you don't want to use oil, you can air fry them or you can bake them in the oven. And like I said, I'm going to make some. I'm going to show you how they are. And then I'm going to tell you in the video, at the end of the video, what did my roommate and my friends think about them. Was the fillings delicious? Was the seasonings on point? Now, when you start hearing that, something's going on. The empanada might have opened up, and yes, it did. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring these empanadas out and bring our cheese ones in so we can fry those. Be careful when you're pulling them out. So look at it. The cheese didn't melt that much in the guava because my oil was super, super hot, but it tastes delicious. This is my shredded cheese one. That's how it looks inside. The cheese actually melted with this one easier. Delicious, delicious, delicious. I actually did one with cheese and ground beef together. This is how it looks. That meat is so delicious. The chicken one. That chicken is so delicious. So here we got it. Empanadas. I cut them in half so you guys could see the inside. Now, the white cheese, I should have cut it a little more smaller and the guava so it could melt a little more better. But my oil was too hot, so next time you put the oil a little bit lower, let it cook good, then the cheese will melt. But I hope you guys enjoyed National Empanadas Day. Hope you guys are at home making your own empanadas. We made ground beef empanadas, but I added cheese to mine. Chicken empanadas. Yellow cheese empanadas. And guava and white fried cheese. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.